Hello, everybody. What's happening? I'm doing this completely through my phone. Never done it before. John Dudley, who's my guest today, is in the back clanging weights around. 'Cause he's a meathead just like me. That's how you know you're a meathead. You go over someone's house or in their office, they got a dumbbell on the ground, you're like, check that shit out. Do you do that, Jamie? I do. Meathead tendencies. I got a bunch of comedy dates coming up, folks. Dallas, Texas is the one that is the newest and the latest. It's at the Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie, which is right outside of Dallas. And it's with Tony motherfucking Hinchcliffe and Ian Edwards. Two hilarious gentlemen that keep me on my toes. Those guys are goddamn killers. Very funny guys who headline all over the place. Ian Edwards has been my friend forever. He's one of the funniest guys I've ever met. And one of the most underappreciated comedians in the world. He's fucking brilliant. He kills me. And he's such a good guy. Like one of the nicest guys ever. And then Tony Hinchcliffe, who is also hilarious and has an amazing Netflix special. If you haven't seen it, it's called One Shot. And he filmed it all in one shot. From leaving the parking lot, walking into the club, getting on stage, no edits. And he did this when he was really young. And did it, really young, like a couple years ago. He's only 13. But he filmed it at the Ice House in Pasadena, and it's fucking great. It was such a ballsy move to go out and put it out like that, and then Netflix bought it, and that's my point, folks. They're badass, and we're all going to be together. And that is May 12th in Dallas, Texas. JoeRogan.net/tour for all of your needs. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is fucking phenomenal, folks. If you are a guy who needs, or a girl, or a whatever. You could be a furry. You don't want to identify with the human race. You could be one of those people that wishes you were a giant squirrel and you want a website. Look no further than Squarespace. Because it used to be that it was difficult to do. You had to learn coding. You had to learn some sort of a stupid program. Not anymore, you fucks. Now you can make an awesome website by yourself with Squarespace. Easy to use, drag and drop user interface. That, like, if you know how to move files around on a computer, if you know how to attach a photograph to an email, just basic stuff, right? If you could do that, you could make a website, and it would look amazing on everything. On a Windows computer, on a Mac. It'll look great on phones, on your iPhone or an Android device or a Windows phone. They're fucking flawless. They each one come with a free online store. Free. And you get a free domain name. I'll say that again because I suck. Free domain name if you sign up for a year. And you can get 10% off. You get a free trial and 10% off if you go to squarespace.com/Joe. So that's a free trial and 10% off your first purchase. Squarespace.com/Joe. And if you want to check out Squarespace websites, my pal Duncan Trussell, his website was made entirely with Squarespace, as was me pal Douglas Stanhope. His podcast and his page, about his podcast, entirely made with Squarespace website. I can't fucking talk. Who lets me do this? We're also brought to you by Onnit.com. ONNIT. Onnit is a total human optimization company, ladies and gentlemen. And what we specialize in is all the different things that you would use if you wanted to get your shit together. If you woke up today and go, God damn it, I got to get going. I got to do something. I got to fucking change the path of this battleship as it makes its way through the rocky crevices of this divide. And it's hard. Turning your life around is kind of like steering a battleship sometimes. And what we concentrate on in a big way at Onnit is finding new ways to steer that ship, finding the best way with motivation. With a bunch of motivational articles. If you go to the Onnit Academy link in the website, it's filled with hundreds of articles on nutrition, on workouts, on motivation, on vitamin absorption rates and the best way to eat and all kinds of cool shit. And there's also an actual Onnit Academy, which is in Austin, Texas. A beautiful state-of-the-art gym, amazing instruction, and now also has 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu and Bang Muay Thai. So they got you covered, dog. If you want strength and conditioning, John Wolf, the guy who runs it, is one of my heroes. I love that guy. He's fucking amazing. And he's got just a wealth of knowledge about strength and conditioning and the way the human body moves best. And then, of course, Dwayne Bang Ludwig Muay Thai and 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Come on, people. What more are you looking for? And then there's, of course, the supplements that we carry at Onnit, the strength and conditioning equipment, battle ropes, kettlebells, steel clubs, full line of shit. Awesome stuff. Go to onnit.com, use the code word Rogan, and save 10% off any and all supplements. All right. My guest today is my pal John Dudley. John and I just got back from a wild pig hunt at Tejon Ranch in the middle of the country. John is a good buddy of mine. He's also my archery coach. He's also just a very accomplished competitive archer, and maybe even more important now, like an evangelist for archery, and a guy who's like one of the best coaches in the world today, and really works hard with his podcast, Knock on TV, to give people really interesting and in-depth archery information. And it's one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to. And so we had a good time today and this week, and we brought back some wild meat, and we're going to talk about it now. So give it up for my pal, Mr. John Dudley.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, champ. Shout out to Shannon the Cannon Briggs. Shout out to the Flat Earth. Shout out to young Jamie for being a newfound believer. And and shout out to John Dudley.
Thanks for having me back, brother.
My brother, thanks for coming with me, man. We have fun. We just got back from a wild pig hunt, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're super not into killing animals, super not into eating animals, or hearing people talk about eating animals, now's definitely the time to shut this one off. I get it.
I'm sure we'll talk about fitness or something good about food for sure.
Archery, life.
Beverages.
Health. I ate nothing but garbage over the last 2 days. Just straight and good food too. Like they cook good for us there.
Yeah.
But I ate not cornflakes, Raisin Bran. So sugary. It was delicious.
Dude, you murdered the junk food.
I did.
I thought I was in I thought I was in a frat house there, the way you were going through Raisin Bran and Fritos and
I'm a mess. No, I didn't have Fritos, but I had Lay's potato chips. Like potato chips.
I knocked down a pack of Cool Ranch Doritos. They weren't how I remembered them when I was like 11 and those came out.
They were the greatest thing of all time.
They were. I don't know.
Something happened to them. You know what? I think as you get older, when you're a young kid and you eat something terrible for you, like a ding dong or ring ding, you know those things?
Yeah.
They feel so good when you're eating them. They feel so good. Like the idea that you could just take that white plastic wrapper, rip it open, and that chocolatey, delicious hockey puck with the cream inside of it was there. Oh, you didn't give a fuck about your health. You're like, I'm going to eat this thing right now. And you get so excited. But as you get older, and we talked about that this weekend, you kind of recognize what's happening when you do something more. Like you're more in tune with like what nutrients you're putting in your body and what their effect has on you.
Oh yeah, big time. And you start to, it's funny how your taste buds change. I recently started liking onions and mushrooms, and they were the only two things I did not like at all. Do you remember when you were asking me about the morels? You couldn't believe that I didn't like morel mushrooms?
Yeah.
I actually had some mushrooms in a some type of an oriental dish, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the heck? It tasted, for the first time when I tasted a mushroom, it didn't just taste like mush. It literally had a flavor. So I've included them on my meals, like if I'm at a steak restaurant or something, and I genuinely are liking the taste of mushrooms now.
How weird, like your taste buds shifted.
I think it happens all the time. Our boy, Harry, he just all of a sudden out of nowhere started really liking green peppers.
Whoa. Out of nowhere.
It's a mystery.
It is a mystery. I've always wondered, like, when people enjoy something that's really strange, like in Iceland, they have this really bizarre pickled shark that is supposed to be atrocious for everybody but people from Iceland.
Well, it sounds like pickled herring.
No, it's something way more intense. It's supposed to be like really intense. Like
but it's a
like
developed
fermented
taste.
Shark. It's like a fermented. See if you can find it, Jamie.
It's
supposed
all
to be
levels, right?
disgusting.
I mean, what do you think when you hear blood pudding? You in or out?
I'm out.
See? And there's people, I've got friends.